Jeremy, I've been looking all over town for you and you're here, filling up your car?
Sorry, man. I gotta get ready for Football Friday.
What are you even talking about? That's not until tomorrow.
Yes, but almost every local team is on the road this week.
Okay.
I'm filling up my car so I can take it to Sprayberry where Dalton plays.
Yeah.
This car is going with Northwest over to Hiram. This car is full for Murray County, which is going to Osborne. And this car is full to follow Southeast to Model.
Whoa, that's a lot of money these days. You're telling me everybody's on the road?
Well, not everybody, but let's hit the road right now and find our way to our featured game of the week for our Thursday football preview.
Finally.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. The life I love is making music with my friends. And I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Going places that I've never.
The Yellow Jackets led us here to Phil Reeve Stadium. And Jeremy, that can only mean one thing.
That's right. Welcome to this week's Thursday football preview. I'm Jeremy Babin. This is Joaquin Sanchez. Our featured game of the week hits Ridgeland at Calhoun.
For Panthers coach Mark Mariakis, a big win on Friday would mean his program is moving in the right direction.
When you mention Calhoun football, everybody knows about it and around the state, and it's a premier program. You know, Coach Lamb and that group has done a great job year in, year out. You know, and I told our kids, you know, it's one of those teams that we haven't been able to beat yet. You know, we talk about, you know, where our program is and haven't been able to beat the Daltons and Romes and Northwest and those guys, and you know, Calhoun is right there with them.
On the other side of the ball, Calhoun's looking to clean up the sloppiness that cost them last week against Dalton.
Their coach Hal Lamb knows that won't be easy against this athletic and talented Ridgeland team.
Speed, speed, speed. They got some really good players in the backfield and all across the board. They're very physical. The Bowman kid is as good as wideouts we'll see all year, and the Freeman kid is as good a running backs we're going to see all year. So our hands are full trying to contain those two, and you know, they're not the only two. They got a really good defense that like to run to the ball.
Our other battle of two local teams has the undefeated Gordon Central Warriors at the new Heritage High School.
Undefeated? That sounds odd to hear. After 13 straight losses, the Warriors walloped Model 22-0 to start the season. Gordon Central coach Chad Fisher talks about that big win.
It shows a little commitment to these kids for sticking it out for what we went through last year. I think it also, you know, it means a lot to finally go out there and everything we've been trying to teach to them about, you can do things, you can be successful, we can go out there and be competitive and go out there and do it to start the season was very enjoyable and fun for the kids, and they were excited and enjoyed it. And we've had a little bit more of a pep this week at practice, so those are all the things that came involved with it.
These two teams operate the exact same kind of offense as well as defense.
That's right. Heritage coach Tim James explains that Friday night will be like playing against themselves.
They're very similar to us in that they run a spread offense, much like Auburn does. It's called the system, and they're 3-5 just like us on defense. So we're kind of clones of one another. Actually, practice this week is not real difficult because we're running our own offense against our defense and our defense against our own offense.
We move now to Dalton at Sprayberry, where the Catamounts are on the road, taking on a team on the other side of Region 7-4A.
And last week, Dalton played well against the Calhoun Yellow Jackets. Coach Weidengarten knows his team will have to execute again Friday night against another group of Yellow Jackets if they want to start the season off 2-0.
Sprayberry, they're a very, very fine football team. They're super athletic. They have a quarterback and a tailback that are as good as we've ever seen on film, and we anticipate them even being better in person. The quarterback is number 11, Forrest Holt. He reminds me of Pat White at West Virginia, and they got a running back reminds me of Steve Slade. They can both really, really run. They're big up front.
Northwest also faces a team from 7B4A. They're at Hiram Friday night.
Bruins coach Mike Valor says this matchup will be a good warm-up for teams they'll face in region play.
They're all similar in the fact that all of them are pretty athletic football teams, and so I think anytime you play speed, it helps you prepare to continue to play it. So it's just the first of several games that we're going to play with very good teams with very good athletes, and hopefully it'll help us get ready to play those.
Sticking with cross-regional action, Murray County is also on the road. They're traveling to Osborne to face the Cardinals.
Jeremy, this is another good chance for the Indians to get a win Friday night. That's because Osborne has only won one one game in the last 3 seasons. But Maury County coach Josh Lowe knows this is a brand new Cardinal team.
We've been preparing all week for Osborne in terms of being ready to try to stop spread offense. Osborne's got a lot of quick weapons. They've got decent size on the line. You know, they've struggled some as we have in the past few years, and they're working hard to end a streak of their own. And of course, you know, we're looking to go down and compete and trying to go for 2 in a row.
In our final matchup, Southeast also hits the road. They're heading south to take on Model.
Both of these teams were shut out in their season openers, but Coach David Crane knows the Blue Devils are not to be taken lightly.
Our boys are working hard. Model's got some athletic guys. Numbers 4, 5, and 6 for them in particular all play both ways, and 5 plays running back and free safety for him. If he gets it, he can take it the distance if you don't wrap up. So our boys are working hard on a little bit better tackling fundamentals than last week and trying to improve there.
Well, that'll do it for this Thursday football preview.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 11 p.m. to Football Friday, where you can catch all the scores and highlights from these games, as well as Ringgold at Murphy, LFO hosting Gordon Lee, Sonoraville taking on Jackson County, and Lafayette at Tryon. Now back to Calvin and Bofta in the studio.
Well, there are a lot of road games, a lot of teams playing on the road, at least the local schools here in Whitfield County. All in Maury County having to go a long way too. Yeah, sure enough. All right, let's see. We're tracking all those hurricanes. Cedric says weather's going to be okay here this weekend.